Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Mr. Anthony Show. Damn it, let's go. What? Y'all already know what it is, man. I truly appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode. And as you know, we always start and we end with the love for the people. Because it ain't about me. It's about y'all. And without y'all, there's no me. So please, continue to show your love and support. Keep liking, subscribing. Make sure you turn on them notifications and share these videos with the people that you love so that the world can know about this platform and we can continue to spread nothing but positive energy to those who will love to receive that. You feel me? So keep up the good work and I'll keep doing my part. I appreciate y'all. Let's get this show started. We got two topics. You know I'm going to react to both of those topics. So let me shut my mouth. Here's topic number one.
Get the fuck out of my way.
Every time you fucking get
I
mad.
don't care. I don't fucking care.
Every time you
need
fucking
to get your
get
shit to get the fuck out of my What the shit? The fuck out of my shit. Shit. Up top. Top fucking.
And this is exactly why I be telling you guys, get your own shit. You heard what he said? Every time you mad, this is what happened, because that's what happens, bro. You see that guy? I was that guy before. I was never in a situation where a woman took care of me. No, we were cohabitating. I was paying the bills, but it still doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's her shit, especially if you ain't got your name on the lease. Oh, it don't matter what you paying, nigga, you got to go. I remember we'd have arguments, and I always knew my shit gonna get packed. Imagine that. Every argument or disagreement that you guys have, you know your shit gonna get packed, so you better agree with her or your shit gonna get packed. All my Gucci's, Balenciagas, J's, all that, by the door, packed. Bye, nigga, get out. If she's not an emotionally mature woman where she understands that the relationship is bigger than how she's just feeling at the moment, then nigga, you got to go. And then it'll become, oh no, come back. And once all your shit packed and she done cool down, come back. Bro, you don't want to play that push and pull game, especially with your living situation. You always want to have your money saved so a job can never hold you. You know what I mean? Like if they let you go, well, I'm good. And you always want to have your own shit so no one can ever displace you or have you homeless. Stay focused.
Wow. Did y'all see that? This happens way too often. And this particular subject is touchy because it's going to ruffle some feathers for some brothers. But if the shoe fit, your ass need to wear it. So here we go. Why you living with her ass anyway? Let's start there. Why you living with her? Now, if you in a situation where you're a little down on your luck and you need somewhere to go for a little bit till you get on your square, I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but she should be your last resort. Where your family? Where your homeboys? Or your homegirls? You know what I mean? Like, let's start there before you lean in that direction, because what's going to happen is what you just saw. Now, not in all cases. All women are not like this young lady in this video. All women are not like that, right? Some will be honorable to what the situation is. But you done moved into her shit, you paying the bills, and you still get put out. Make that make sense, y'all. Where does that make sense? And all you've done is put yourself in this situation, and even in a court of law, you're gonna lose. And if you ain't on the lease, that's even worse for you. You don't have a leg to stand on. This is why I'm a firm believer in that if you got your own spot, I got my own spot, and we having reached that point to where we are foreseeing marriage, you know, like a thing, as a direction that we're going, then what are we doing? What are we doing? Now, if we make a decision that we're going to get engaged, then yeah, come on. We need to probably start getting up under the same household and, and things of that nature, even if it's a little bit before engagement. But y'all do this together. You move out your shit, I move out of mine, we go get our own, and then we good. And then you all have something that you got together. And can't nobody get put out. You may have to leave, you know what I'm saying, to let the heat cool off a little bit. Sometimes, that's required. But I'm talking about getting put out when you gotta pack your shit. Please. Nah. I'm a friend. I don't even like going to sleep mad. Even though it's almost impossible for that never to happen. But I prefer to work out differences. You know what I mean? Because you never know. You might not wake up the next morning. And do you want the last thing that you and your loved one discussed, or the last interaction that you all had, to be one of negativity? That's the last thing you want? You never know. You never know. When it's our time to go, to be called home, that'll happen at any given time. So please, don't get it twisted. It is important to have your own space. And if you're not in that situation where you have your own space and you do go under the roof with somebody else, make sure your money right. You got to have that cut and go money, that cut and go fund. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that. Because if it's for any reason you need to get little, you need to move real quick, you need to have some paper put up, man. You can't be in a situation where you got to deal with some bullshit at the crib because you ain't got no money to go nowhere. I know too many dudes like that. And it's unfortunate. And I try, I have conversations with them because I ain't never been in that situation where I just can't bounce. Period. Never. I try not to even put myself in a situation ever to where I'm under somebody else's roof. If I'm under the roof with somebody, it's by choice. And if it's their roof, that's by choice. But you can believe I can cut and go at any given time. But you don't want to get caught up in a situation to whereas now y'all get into it, there's an argument, as you saw, whatever they was arguing about, she was extremely pissed off. And where she can take all of your shit and just start throwing it out the crib. And what you gonna do about it? Call the police? What they gonna say to you? Pick your stuff up, sir. You gotta go. You're not even legally supposed to be here. So yeah, if she wants you out, you gotta go. But if you on that lease, if your name on that lease or that mortgage, good luck. Good luck. Especially if there's been no physical altercation. Can't nobody make you leave. I don't even sleep on the couch. I'll be damned. Somewhere where I'm paying the bills, please. We're going to be two mad-ass people with our backs turned to each other. But I ain't sleeping on nobody's couch. Ever. Unless I just fall asleep there. That's the only way. I'm watching TV and just fall off into a nod. But me being put out the room or saying, you got to go sleep on the couch, man, good luck. Good luck on that one. But yeah, come on, brothers. If you in a situation like this is not to knock you. This is not to make you feel bad or belittle you or take a shot at your manhood in any shape, form, or fashion. But my brothers, it is extremely important that we are in position to move when it's time to move. We don't ever want to be bottled up in a situation where we can't just go ahead and exit stage left because we ain't got no money to do it. gotta make sure you got money in place in case an emergency happens. And this brother, hopefully, who was in this video, hopefully that brother was in a situation where he could do that. And it should only take that one time. She do that shit to you one time, you gotta go. You can't stay around for that, man. That sort of treatment is just disrespectful. And I don't care what he did. Okay? Allow that brother to pack his stuff up and leave. All of this women taking your shit and ripping it up and tearing it up and pouring bleach on it or fucking burning it or just throwing it out. Like, yo, hey, if you want me to go, I'll go. But all of this ain't required. All of that ain't necessary. You know what I mean? So, brothers, don't put yourself in this position, man. All right? Get your money right. And make sure you pick somebody that you can build with. You can't build with somebody like her. But pick you somebody who you can build with, man. You know what I mean? When things get hard, they don't start flying off the handle. You know, they have some level of emotional intelligence to where they can handle high-level situations and keep their attitudes and their actions in check. Okay? Man, too many of these is happening. So let's get it together, my brothers. But yeah, let's move on. Here's topic number 2.
Bro, never let somebody play with you twice. Ever. You understand? Like that first time they played, like they got it off. Like, you know what I mean? You was going through something. You wasn't in your right mind. Your confidence wasn't where it needed to be. Your self-esteem wasn't where it was, so you couldn't see it coming. You understand? But that second time, you gotta remember, bro, like, you control how people handle you and how comfortable people feel mishandling you. All of that is in your control. So you gotta move accordingly. You understand? Like, we all done been finessed before. Like, we all done thought it was one thing when it was really something else. And we found out it was something else and it hurt. You understand? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with taking the L. It's just something wrong with taking the L the same way twice. You understand what I'm saying? So nah, never let somebody play with you twice. When they play that first time, you chalk that up and you move them around. That's who they are. Keep them over there.
Yeah. Shout out to Trill AC, man. Tonight's conversation. Yeah, they always bring the heat, man. I appreciate them. They always got great perspectives on things. But man, let's dive into this topic here. If you allow somebody to do something one time and they pay no consequence, there will be a second time. It's guaranteed. If you allow somebody to play you once and you do nothing about it, they're going to do it again. And if you allow it to continue to happen, it becomes habitual. Now they've created a habit. Now this is something that they're just going to do unconsciously because it's just a part of how they deal with you. You control how someone handles you. You have complete control of that. And if you nip shit in the bud early, then it won't happen again. It's just like when you dealing and raising your children. You implement discipline and rules early in their childhood. So they're raised with this level of discipline and rule. And they know what it is once they become older and adults. And then they take that same discipline and rule and they move it into their world. It's no different. If you establish with your significant other, these are my boundaries. And there's always going to be boundaries that you will have a little give on, but you got your deal breakers, right? But if you establish in the beginning what those boundaries are, then people know not to play with you. And if they choose to test that boundary line, there has to be consequences for those actions. Consequences and repercussions. Come on. Gotta do it. If you don't, there will be a second time. That's why things can't go unsaid that need to be said. Even if it stings, even if it hurts, every conversation that you have, every situation is not going to be a good one. So you got to be ready to deal with that. But it's something that has to be dealt with. You can't have people creating habits that negatively impact you. Like, that ain't how this thing called love, relationships, marriage, whatever. It's just not how it works, man. No one comes into this and signs up for heartache and turmoil. Like, this message right here applies to that brother who was getting put out in the first clip. Being put out. He controls that situation because he made a conscious decision to go live in the house with this woman. Now, they did not deem whether or not he was on the lease and all of that. But she was comfortable enough to put his ass out. And it wasn't the first time, because you heard him clearly say, see, every time you get mad, we go through this. Bruh, how many times you gonna let her do that shit to you? How many times you gonna let her play with you like this? And then, obviously, if it's repetitive, then she's telling you to come back. And you running back. And then when I saw her putting all your stuff out in the video, this brother had Gucci shirts and all. What you living with her for? Stop buying Gucci shirts and carry your ass on over to the damn complex somewhere and get you an apartment, bruh. If this is happening, unless, them little Fugazi Gucci shirts that you buying from the man on the corner, Hustle Man, some Hustle Man Gucci shirts you got over there, got, on the low. And they ain't really, costing what real Gucci shirts cost, but nonetheless, use that money to get you a spot. Like Trill said, don't let nobody play with you twice. You got to check them in the dough after the first situation. And then if you choose to go ahead and give them another chance and give a benefit of the doubt, and that should only be based on the reaction that you get from you lovingly correcting them about how not to play with you. You dig? Depending on that reaction determines if they get a second shot. Because I'm not a believer in just kick them to the curb after the first time, depending on how egregious it was. Like what old girl did to dude, putting them out like that. Ain't no coming back from that. You ain't got to worry about me walking back in that door. No, that I don't play. Period. I'll leave, but you ain't finna put my shit out. Now, we gonna have a whole problem. You did. We gonna have a whole problem. I don't touch my personal stuff. I ain't gonna be destroying your stuff and throwing your stuff all around when we get mad and all of that. It just ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? At least not for me. So that's not something I'm going to accept, because I'm not going to do it to you. So I'm not taking it from you, period. But you have complete control of how people handle you. When you let people mishandle you, it's a guarantee they're going to continue to do it, period. Some people get into relationships with people who have low self-esteem and all these other little issues that they may have going on. People prey on people like that. They strategically are looking for people like this because they know I can take advantage of this person. There's a special place in hell for people like that too. I can't stand that. You purposely are targeting people who have self-esteem issues, not with the intention of building them up to make them better because you see potential beyond that issue. Nah, you doing this because you want to have the upper hand and mentally manipulate somebody. There's a special place in hell for people like that. Now, on the flip side, like my man said, the person who is being mishandled, and to the person doing the mishandling. It goes both ways. Do that self-work. Don't jump into a relationship if you ain't at least got started on your self-work. At least get started on it. You know? Do some level of healing. Sometimes having another person in your world does help with the healing process. So like, I get that. So don't get me wrong. No one's perfect, right? So no one's ever going to be in that exact perfect place in life to where it just makes sense to be in a relationship or, or whatever, you want to label it as. But you don't want to waste someone else's time either. So if you're not right, and there's things you need to work on, go do that. Get right, and then go and find that person, or put yourself in a position to where now you open for someone to find you, or you find them. But you got to do the self-work. You got to make sure you good. You got to do that, man. It's extremely important. And if you can't do it to a point to where you feel comfortable, at least get started. Because when God is ready to put that person in your life, that person will be presented to you. You just got to be ready, And if you're going through a lot of turmoil from the previous situation that you were in and all of that, heal. Do something to make you feel like you are ready to be the right person for the right person. The right person for the right person. Damn. I think I like that one. But yeah, man, this thing is important, man. Respect is everything, y'all. We got to lead with respect. That's part of the problem. People don't lost respect out here in the world. You got some of these youngers, they're not even respecting elders no more. Like, what happened to that? What happened to respect, man? Let's get back to it. Because once respect is at the forefront of any interaction or any situation or any relationship, it's going to make things easier for everybody involved. So we got to get respect back, baby. We got to get it back. Because with respect, that thing that happened in the first clip of old boy getting put out would have never happened, because she has respect for him. And that happened multiple times. So ain't no respect no more. Now, he may have done something to make her lose some level of respect, but at the end of the day, we still need to lead with respect. You can have differences. You can have, things that go bad. And we still do things respectfully enough to whereas it don't escalate no further than, look, bruh, it's time for you to leave. You need to go find you a spot. Do what you need to do. But you gotta go. But you have to be respectful, or things get out of hand real quick. And before you know it, you know what that means. I'm more like, boom, 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 boom. Open the door. It's the police. And they come to take somebody's ass to jail. So when respect is gone, things escalate real quick. It can get out of hand. So let's do some self-work, y'all. Let's work on ourselves. Let's make sure we're good internally before we start to do or get ourselves into situations like this. All right? I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Mr. Anthony Show. And y'all know, before I go, I always start and end with the love for the people. And that's what I have for y'all. So please continue to be great. Continue to do things that help inspire yourself first and any and everyone around you. And if anyone, or if no one has told you today, you're a great individual. Can't nobody be you better than you. Stay focused, stay driven, and keep your eyes on the prize. Until the next episode, y'all be blessed out there.